ओम सदाशिवसमारंभां शंकराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सर्ववेदान्त सिद्धान्त गोचरं तमगोचरं गोविन्दं परमानन्दं सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। Okay, so we saw the 370th shloka. We said vacham niyachcha atmani tanyachcha buddhau dhyanyachcha cha buddhi sakshini tanchapi purnatmani nirvikalpe vilapya shantim paramam bhajasva. So this is following the kata shruti. The Purvapakshi had asked what is the pramana to say that this is the sequence for nididhyasana, this is the sequence for samadhi. So kata shruti was quoted by Bhagavan Vyakhyanakara, and then the 370th shloka is a paraphrasing of that shruti, said the Vyakhyanakara, and Bhagavad Padacharya says the same thing in the shloka as well, in the shloka form. The next two shlokas are connected to make one anvaya, and they are introduced by saying vritti nirodhasya swarupananda abhivanjakatvam sopavattikam aha deheti. So using a logical explanation, vritti nirodha for vritti nirodhasya, for vritti nirodha swarupa not for vritti nirodha, swarupananda abhivanjakatva of vritti nirodha. So meaning it has, vritti nirodha has swarupananda abhivanjakatva, means it manifests. Vritti nirodha is a karta to manifest the swarupananda. So vritti nirodha, we have seen, is the definition of yoga. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. And in Vedanta, what do we call that state? That is Brahma Rupa Samadhi. That Samadhi is Brahma Rupa Samadhi, meaning Brahmatma remains, there is no vritti. So when vritti nirodha happens, then what manifests? What is manifest is the Atma Tattva, because there is nothing else other than that. In the mind there are no vrittis, that mind is absorbed in the Atma, and that Atma is Sukha Swarupa. Therefore in the mind there is only Sukha. Thereby Swarupananda Abhivanjakatvam, it manifests. Just like all objects in the Prapancha manifest the light, they reflect the light, manifest the light, they reflect the light. Similarly, mind will reflect the Swarupananda when there is no other vritti which drags the individual away from one's own Swarupa. Thereby, just by its absence, vritti, it manifests the Atma Swarupa, Swarupananda. That is explained logically in the next two shlokas. देह प्राणेन्द्रिय मनोबुद्ध्यादिभिर उपादिभिः यैर्यै वृत्तेः समायोगः तत्तद्भावोऽस्य योगिनः तन्निवृत्त्या मुनिः सम्यक् सर्वोपरमणं सुखं सन्दृश्यते सदानन्दरसानुभव विप्लवः. So deha pranendriya manobuddhyadivihi upadivihi. What are the upadis? We have seen pancha purushas. So they are put in these words: deha, prana, indriya, manaha and buddhi. These are the five koshas, and etc. is mentioned other than the koshas also, that ahankara and these karta bhokta, all these ideas, they become the upadi for the atma. Through those upadis, what happens? Upadibhi yai dehendriya pranendriya manobuddhyadivihi upadibhi vrittehe samayogaha. There is an association of this vritti now. There is a tadatmya sambandha. Basically the idea is there is a tadatmya sambandha, and due to those the vritti manifests those now. Manifests these ideas with the tadatmya sambandha of these koshas. Thereby the vritti goes through certain, rather the mind goes through certain modifications, and those are called as vrittis. So yahi upadibhihi vrittehe samayogah bhavati. Through, so samayoga here is, yoga is association there, but samayoga here, the vritti samayoga would be the manifestation of the vritti, which the modifications of the vritti which manifest the whatever comes about by the association with these koshas. So with associating with the mind as oneself, one would start to emote. With association with buddhi, one becomes a thinker, and with anandamaya kosha, one is a bhokta. So with vijnanamaya kosha, thinker as in he is a karta, and so on are the modifications of the mind, and that is what the vritti is. So that is called as vrittehe samayogah, and such vritti is taking place tattad bhava asya yoginah, and due to that tadatmya sambandha being there, the yogi also, as yogi is the atma, the jivatma, who here is called as a yogi, who is trying to get to samadhi. This person also starts changing with the vritti, as though he thinks that I am undergoing a change. When the mind has emotions, he thinks I am emoting, I am sukhi, dukhi, ityadi. This is the tadatmya sambandha. Tadatmya sambandha is earlier, it is an erroneous cognition of the koshas as oneself. Then these vrittis start manifesting these or showing up these for the sakshi really. But the sakshi is no longer a sakshi. He has got a subject-object division, and further he has association as a subject and beyond. He associates with the vijnanamaya kosha and beyond unto the mana, unto the prana, unto, so he thinks I am hungry when there is a prana movement, and so on. Thereby the wrong notion becomes the very self of the very nature of this person. Very nature as in erroneously. It is not really his nature. Therefore tattad bhava asya yoginah tattad bhava bhavati. Going with the vrittis, going with the kosha, the vritti shows these very things as your own self, and then there is an association. Tannivritya munehe samyak sarva uparamanam sukham. The uparamana is uparatihi. With another suffix, it's the same meaning. So tannivritya, when these vrittis go away, and here see, I have explained that the ajnana is the reason for the tadatmya sambandha, but this ajnana is tending to become zero now. It is being, it cannot overpower or counter the vidya. It cannot have so much of virodha, because through shravana, manana and nididhyasana, this yogi has built up jnana so much it has become sthira, and it is countering ajnana. So what is happening now? He is unable to stay in the nididhyasana for longer and longer duration, nityatvena. Thereby vritti nirodha is called for. So samadhi is called for by nididhyasana. And how does nididhyasana affect? It comes about by manana. So manana shilasya munehe, this muni is mentioned here. So manana shila, he starts manana on any of the vritti which happens. He withdraws, he does manana on the shravanartha, on the shrutartha, and then the nididhyasana takes place. That nididhyasana, when it is happening, the tat and tvam padartha become one, and there is nothing else other than, there is no other duality, there is no tat and tvam separate. This individual is the whole, and there is only one single Advaita Tattva without a second, thereby Samadhi is a resultant of that. And what is that Samadhi? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga Chitta Vritti. Therefore, Tan Nivritya is Vritti Nivritya. Through the Nivritti of these Vrittis which are holding back the Muni from absorption, Mune Samyak Sarva Uparamanam Sukham. Then complete absorption takes place, and that is Sukha, that causes Sukha. Sukham Sandrishyate Sadananda Rasanubhava Viplavaha. And then what happens? He says, when the mind is completely withdrawn from these Sarvoparanam Sukham Munehe Tannivritya, because Vritti Nivritti is Sukha, because it is Ananda Swarupa. What happens is, he Sandrishyate, there is Sakshatkara. Sandrishyate, there is Sakshatkara, and Sadananda Rasanubhava Viplavaha. There is this happiness or bliss then. Yatha Svachopi Spatikaha. Yatha Svachopi Spatika, the crystal, even if it is clear, what happens? Neela Vastradi Yogena, Neeladi Rupatvena Bhati. Swayam Svacha Sanneva. Even if you take a crystal, that crystal is clear. See Spatika Mala, or the larger crystalline Spatika Murti or something, you take that, it is clear. It does not have any color of its own. But if you keep some object, so here Neela Vastradi Yogena it is said, so you keep a dark cloth or some colored cloth next to it, then what happens is that it reflects in the crystal, and the crystal appears to be of the color of the cloth. So that is the Upadhi. Thereby the Upadhi is explained here. This, and even when it appears red or blue or whatever, or even the worst of black, even if it appears that dark color, still it remains Shuddha, Swacha. It has no color of its own. We know this example. So Swayam Swacha Sanneva Neeladi Rupatvena Bhati. Tatha, similarly, Asya Atmanaha Deha Pranendriya Manobuddhyadibihi Adipadena Anandamaya Kosha. So Adipadena Anandamaya Kosha explained as Bhokta. Anandamaya Kosha associates the Bhoktrutva Bhava. Anandamaya Kosha Griyate. So through with association with these four have been mentioned. Adipadena, the fifth Kosha also. As the Atma, similarly, Swacha San, Shuddha San, Bhati. How? Koshadi Rupatvena. With the Kosha Rupa, this Atma also, I appear to be tainted even when I am not tainted by any of the Kosha Gunas. Yaihi Vrittehe Samayogaha Akarata Aksha Sambandha. What is that Sambandha? It takes the Akara. Vritti is modification of the mind. In English they translate it as modification of the mind. What is the modification of the mind? It is the Akara, or what is called as an Akara. Akara is not really a form in the sense, a shape. Shape is possible only for the visual, something which is visual. But the Vritti is also audible. So in keeping with the sound, there is a change in the form of the mind. So it is an audible form. And similarly, the form of taste, in the form of taste, and so on. So Bhagavan Vyakhyanakara uses the word Akarata Aksha Sambandha. Akarata Aksha Sambandha. That Sambandha which is called as that Akara. Called as Akara, that is the Sambandha which is explained. It is an explanation for Samayoga, the word Samayoga in the Mula. Antarairva Bahirva Koshehi Tattad Bhava Tattad Tadatmya. What is the final effect of that? There is a Tadatmya Sambandha. There is an identification with these very koshas based on whether they are Antar or Bahya Vrittis. So whichever kosha facilitates these Vrittis, there is the Tadatmya Sambandha, there is the identification. Tena Tadiya Dharmaihi Dharmatvena Avidya Asmita Raga Dvesha Vinivesha Rupaha Pancha Kleshaha. The Yoga Shastra mentions kleshas, So the sutras goes after Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha as a culmination, which is explained in the first sutra by definition. Then Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha, then the idhar sutra vritti sarupyam itaratra. So there is the other vrittis take place when there is no chitta vritti nirodha and there is no the atma in its shuddha swarupa, when it does not remain, then there are other vrittis. And what are these vrittis? So some they are explained. So there are and kleshas are explained in that manner. The klishta are mentioned, and then what are these kleshas are mentioned. So pancha kleshas are mentioned there. Those are listed here. Tena tadiya dharmai means the kosha dharmas are there, and through kosha dharmas dharmatvena avidya asmita raga dvesha abhinivesha rupaha pancha klesha. So there are these 5 kleshas which are in these forms. The vrittis due to association. The Atma itself associates with these, and then what are these? There is avidya. Avidya, we all know avidya. That is basically the Anandamaya Kosha Sambandha, because in Anandamaya Kosha, which is manifest in the Sushupti, there is Sukha, but there is also ignorance of complete darkness. There is nothing is known, neither the Swapna Prapancha nor the Jagrat Prapancha. Therefore, this avidya is one klesha. Asmita is also basically association. Vijnanamaya Kosha gives you this asmita. Then raga is, we know raga dvesha, so desire, likes and dislikes. So raga is another klesha, the third klesha mentioned here. Asmita raga. Dvesha is the opposite of that. So raga dvesha. Then abhinivesha. So and then abhinivesha, it is basically the fear. Abhinivesha is fear, because any tadatmya sambandha with anatma is known through a vritti. Any of the qualities of the koshas are known through the vrittis, and these vrittis are momentary. Even if we do not understand the vrittis are momentary, we see that there is a change happening in the anatma. The body goes through the change. All the bodies go through the change. So when you see the change, prana undergoes a change, sharirani mein stula, we know it undergoes change. So when we see that these are undergoing change, and when I have association of identification, what is the association? Identification, in the form of identification, then as and when the anatma fades away, I think I am fading away. So there is a fear of death, fear of dying. That is called as abhinivesha here. So these are the 5 categories of kleshas. Asyeva yoginaha bahirvrittihi nirundhataha. For this person who is trying to resolve the vrittis which are outward to him. So bahirvrittihi nirundhataha yoginaha. Tatra hetuhu muneriti. Why? Because he is mananashila and he can have a say over his mind by using his buddhi. Kosha panchaka viveka prakaranokta yuktivihi tan anatmatvena nishedata. So who is this yogi? This yogi who is trying to use manana to lead to nididhyasana. Basically dharana, dhyana, samadhi is the result after that, and tatra hetu muneriti. Therefore mune has been used because he is mananashila who analyzes the panchakosha through the viveka, atma anatma viveka, through the panchakosha viveka as taught in the earlier sections of the text. Tan anatmena nishedataha. So he negates this panchakosha as not being oneself, and thereby tadatmya sambandha goes away and he remains as shuddha atma. Tatra aham vrittir akurvataha tannivritya dehadyupadi nivritya sarvoparamanam sarvesham dukkhatmakanam anatmanam uparamanam abhanam yatra sukhe tat sarvoparamanam sukham samyak bhavati iti sheshaha. So what happens when the uparamana happens through this panchakosha viveka, when he withdraws? So dehad tannivruttya has been mentioned. So he says vritti akurvatah. Vrittir akurvatah, person who is not holding on to these vrittis, thereby the vrittis resolve, and then tannivruttya, vritti nivruttya, meaning dehadi upadi nivruttya. When these vrittis are not an upadi anymore, dehadi panchakoshas are not upadi for him, then when he has withdrawn from all of these koshas as oneself, then sarvesham dukkhatmakanam uparamanam. All these which are causing dukkha, they become resolved, and then uparamana is what? Abhanam. Abhanam yatra uparamana yatra uparamana yatra sukhe, in which sukhatma there is resolution of all of this, and then tat sarva uparamanam sukham samyak bhavati iti shesha. Sukham has been mentioned. It just says samyak sukham. Sukham bhavati iti shesha. Bhavati, samyak bhavati has to be added. That is what he says. Sandrishyate sadananda rasanubhava viplava, meaning tatra manam sadananda rasanubhava viplavaha. So he says this sadananda rasanubhava viplava is the hetu garbha visheshana. It is a pramana, and then he says tatra manam pramanam sadananda rasanubhava viplavaha, the hetu garbha visheshana sandrishyate iti. Because in that state sadananda rasanubhavaha sandrishyate viplava sandrishyate, you see an excess of sukha, then that blissful nature has to be yours, and therefore everything is resolved in you, which is your nature, this sukha swarupa. This is the idea here. And what is viplava? Magnata purnatava. Viplava is explained. Viplava sandrishyate. What is viplava? Magnata. The immersion in this sukha, being immersed in this sukha, is known to one who is immersed. He himself has this anubhava, sakshatkarova. Or purnata. Purnata, because this sukha is the result of anantyam. There is nothing to limit you, and therefore there is sukha. Any limitation brings dukkha, makes a person a wanting person. Dvitiyadvai bhayam bhavati, says this Shruti. So being a segmented person, there is something else or someone else other than oneself, and there is bhaya, it blocks the sukha. So purnata is another meaning of viplavaha. Nidhagataptasya janhavi hridanimagnasya yatha antarvahir ananda spurtihi tatha saropadi vinirmuktasya kevali bhutasya akhandananda spurtiriti bhavaha. So here he says, he explains what is this sukha. He says, he gives an example. Just as one takes a dip in Ganga, you take a dip in a river when there is a lot of heat around, summertime, and then you take a dip. Ganga is always cold. Even in summer it is cold. The melted Himalayas, or rather the melted Hima from the Himalaya. So just as this person who is taking a dip in Ganga, completely immersed in Ganga, he takes dubki lagata hai, so the way he say in Hindi. So he completely immerses himself in Ganga, head to toe he is completely immersed, and then he comes out, and the way he feels no heat at all. Similarly, the person who is tapta due to samsara, once he is immersed in Atma Ananda, he does not feel scorched of this heat. So this is the idea, sarvopadi vinirmuktasya, one who is free from these upadis, from these koshas, kevali bhutasya, the kaivalya samadhi is kaivalya. Even in Yoga Shastra, there is the last pada is kaivalya pada. So kevali bhutasya, one who alone exists, nothing else exists, satta rupena, spurti rupena, ananda rupena, akhanda ananda spurtir iti bhavaha. For him, what else will be there other than this ananda? This is the idea. Etasmin nirvikalpa yoge, etasmin nirvikalpaka yoge hetu bhuta sarvopadi nivruttau vairagyam yogasya prathamam dwaram iti sutra sthaniye shloke nirasha shabdena katitam viveka vairagya gunatirekat iti shloke manashuddhi hetutaya tabhyam dridabhyam bhavitavyam agre ityuktam तीव्र तमम तीव्रतमम अंतरंग साधनम इति निरूपयति अंतस्त्याग इति. Now he says there is a sutra sthaniya shloka meaning briefly what was said earlier in the shloka 368 as vairagyam yogasya prathamam dwaram. Vairagya is the first step to this samadhi here, and therefore etasmin nirvikalpaka yoge hetubhuta sarvopadi nivruttau. What is this yoga here? Nivrutti from all the upadis. That is what yoga is. All the upadis, including the vrittis which are of these particular akaras of koshas or kosha gunas. This is nirvikalpaka yoga or nirvikalpaka samadhi, and towards that vairagya is the first step, which was said in the 368 shloka, which was a sutra sthani, meaning it was like a sutra, brief aphorism. And nirasha shabdena kathitam viveka vairagya gunatirekat iti shloki, another shloka long back had been said in 177 shloka. What was said there? Nirasha shabdena kathitam. What is it? Viveka vairagya gunatirekat. When there is an excess of viveka and vairagya, or not when, that is the hetu. Due to that, what happens? Manashuddhi hetutaya tabhyam drudabhyam bhavitavyam agre ityuktam. And manashuddhi hetutaya, there is chitta shuddhi, and through that chitta shuddhi which began even before jnana, culmination is here post jnana in samadhi. Tivra tam antaranga sadhanam iti. Then what is said is here ityuktam tivra tamam antaranga sadhanam. Maybe there is a typo here. Just let me check what is it. Okay, sorry, it's not a typo here. I am seeing a different word. Okay, so it is said bhavitam. So tabhyam drudabhyam bhavitavyam agre. So this, whatever was begun earlier has to become sthira, and it should become stronger and stronger as shravana takes place, manana takes place. That was said earlier in the shlokas. Now we say iti uktam, what was said earlier, tivratamam antaranga sadhanam. Tivratamam, it should become that tivra, it should become very dridha, and it should become nothing else should be there. Tivratamam is the superlative pratyaya, tama pratyaya has been used. Tivratamam, it should be very intense. Now that mumukshutvam should be so intense that there is nothing else left. Vairagya and viveka should be in culmination now. It should be very tivra, and that is the antaranga sadhana. It is the part of this samadhi now. You cannot do without it. That is said here. Iti nirupayati antastyageti. The next two shlokas are connected. Antastyago bahistyago viraktasyaiva yujyate tyajatyantar bahirsangam viraktastu mumukshaya bahistu vishayai sangah tathantarhamadivihi viraktaeva shaknoti tyaktum brahmani nishtitah. So antah tyagah, bahi tyagah. This inward and outward, both of these should be given up. Whether one indulges in thinking or whether one indulges in kriyas, both should be given up. And to viraktasyeva yujyate, it is possible only for a vairagi who has no value for any of these. Thereby tyajati antarvahi sangam tyajati viraktah tu mumukshaya. Through mumuksha, through the intense desire for moksha, he gives up everything external and internal here. He gives up the sangha, association with any of bahistu vishayehi sangha. What is this? Vishayehi sangha is bahis sangha. Association outward is said to be association with vishayas, objects. Tatha antara aham adivi. And antah sangha is what? Aham avi, ahankara, individuality, the ego, and then the sambandha with the mind, etc. All of these are within. So basically the border of division is with the stula sharira, annamaya kosha, anything outward is bahihi sangha and anything inward is antah sangha. Virakta eva shaknoti tyaktum. Virakta eva shaknu sangha tyaktum shaknoti. He alone can give up the sangha, whether inward or outward. Viraktaha avairagi. How so? Brahmani nishtitaha san. Be having nishtha in Brahma. So there is a dependency. Unless you are a vairagi, you cannot have Brahmanishtha. And unless you have Brahmanishtha, you cannot have complete dissociation. So you have to keep on trying whatever is lacking. If you are practicing Nididhyasana, you see there it is being blocked. It does not let you be absorbed. Then Vairagya is lacking. You work on the Vairagya. How? By dosha darshana, by seeing all the defects. Dosha darshana. What are the defects in Vishaya Sangha? First and foremost, you should know that the resultant is bondage. So bandhakatvam is there. Any indulgence will bring vasana, kama karma, and then karma phala, samsara. So that should be the analysis. And the more you do it, the more addictive you are. So it also binds you by addiction. What else is there? Atruptikaratvam. The same level of indulgence does not give you the same level of satisfaction as earlier. You have to indulge more. There is no trupti. Whatever you have done, you keep on doing it, you lose taste for it. You want more. You say that I want more of this. More enjoyment. For the same level of pleasure, more indulgence is needed. So atrupti karatvam, because there is no ananda in Vishaya. So these are the defects. So by doshanu darshanam, we find the defects and we find the flaws and we find the pitfalls, and then we withdraw. Thereby nididhyasana can lead to samadhi absorption. Nididhyasana, nishtha can be there. Basically nididhyasana can be there. So that is why manana shilasya munehe. This yogi who is a muni, who is not just practicing samadhi without any of these tools of viveka, not samadhi on anything and everything, and other way around also. How do you practice viveka, vairagya? While doing those also, apart from doshanu darshana, what one should do is one should think of the atma tattva. Thereby one can withdraw, and vairagya and viveka can become dridha. Mukshitvam can become dridha. So brahmani nishtitaha viraktaha eva sangha tyaktum shaknoti. Antarbhirbhavena vartamananam sarvesham anatmana tyagah viraktasya yudyate upapadyate. It is possible only for a vairagi viraktaha. What is possible? Tyagah, anatmana tyagah, discarding everything as anatma. Sarvesham vartamananam antarbhirbhavena. Whatever exists as inside and outside, all of those can be disregarded and disassociated from only by a virakta. It is possible only for a virakta. How? What is the process? He says all of this anatma. Viveka, he has viveka, he says I do not want any anatma, only atma is my interest. Tatra hetu viraktastu virakta eva mumukshaya kaivalechaya antarbhai sangam tyajati. Why does he do so? What is the reason? The reason is kaivalya drishti, mumuksha. He wants only moksha, that is his only goal. He has purushartha nishchayaha, that among all the four purusharthas, the only real purushartha for a human being is moksha. Therefore kaivalya ichha is there, only ichha of being free. Kevalaha is through that ichha. Just give me a moment, please. So antarbhai sangam tyajati, he gives up the association inward and outward. Aham bhavam na karoti, he does not have any ahankara. He does not hold on to this individuality or ego. Sangam vibhajya darshayati bahiriti. What is the sangha? Inward and outward. So he shows that, he divides that sangha association into inward and outward. What is outward? Bahistu vishehi putradivi shabdadivischa sangha. What is this bahis sangha? Association with objects. And if you are confused as to what the objects are, even the putra ityadi. So all the family members and vishayas are also objects. They are also objects because they are, you are the subject, they are the object. And when you go from the outward to inward, when you analyze the subject also, then whatever is analyzed, whatever is seen, drishyatvat mithya, and even your body being seen, not only the others' bodies are mithya, the bahissanga is to be withdrawn from, but antasanga also, because pratyagatma is the only real atma. Everything is outward to the pratyagatma also. Therefore antasanga is what is outward to pratyagatma, but inward from the perspective of the body. So there he says, तथा अंतः अहमादिभिः देह प्राण मनो बुद्धयः आदि पदार्थः तैः संगः अवास्तवः. Sangha is not real. It is tadatmya sambandha is a bhranti. It is a bhranti sambandha. Tadatmya rupa sambandha. The identification is a bhranti there. Imam ubhaya vidham api sangam virakta eva nishkam manaska eva chaktum shaknoti. Who can give up? Only a virakta. And who is this virakta? Nishkam manaska. One whose mind is free from kama. Tyage bijam aha. And what results in this tyaga? What is the seed for this tyaga? What is the root? What is the thinking there? He says brahmani nishtitaha. Brahmani nishtitaha. One brahmanistha becomes the reason for complete tyaga. Earlier tyaga is there, but rasa for the tyaga, for the vishayas has not gone. Rasavarjam. Rasavarjam vishya vinivartante. Gita Acharya says Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya yoginah. So yogi who is nirahara, he is not feeding anything to himself. He is not partaking of anything. He is not taking any food. He is weakening his sense organs. Even a person who is ill will not have taste for vishayas. His tongue does not have taste. His eyes are not strong enough to want to watch something. Ears are not strong to hear something. So niraharaha, whether he is not taking food or he has a disease or he is shunning everything, for that person also, he may be a vairagi also, but still rasa varjam vinivartante. So vishayas go away from him, but rasa for them is there. That is a taste for these vishayas. When I feel better or when this vairagya goes away, smashana vairagya goes away, I am going to indulge in abundance. I am going to even feed myself for the days I couldn't feed myself. So like a revenge, these many days I could not enjoy, let me enjoy in abundance now. So weekend parties, you throughout the weekend you party out. So starting from, TGIF. So starting from Friday till Sunday you party out and make up for the week. So that is the thinking for even for a person who is not indulging, because rasa is there. Given an opportunity, these vasanas would manifest. However, then the Gita Acharya says, but rasa also what goes away when param drashtva nivartate, rasopyasya param drashtva nivartate. When Paramatma drishti is there, when that Brahmatma Tattva is known as oneself through Sakshatkara, the rasa also goes away. You don't even have a taste, meaning the Vasana Kshaya happens through this Samadhi. That is said here is by saying, imam ubhayo vidam api sangam virakta eva nishkam manaska eva tyaktum shaknoti tyage bijamaha brahmani nishtitah iti. The nishtha is in Brahma, commitment is in Brahma, it washes away all vasanas, that dharma megha washes away all vasanas, and rasopiyasya param drishtva param brahma drishtva nivartate. Brahmanyeva nitaram sarvada sthitah aprachyuta manaha ityartah. Aprachyuta manaha means one whose mind, the person whose mind does not have a fall from this sthiti. What is that sthiti? Sarvada nitaram sthitihi brahmani nishtha. Nitaram sthiti is nishtha, and this person has nishtha, therefore he is called as a nishtha. Brahmanishta or brahmani nishtitah, same meaning. Brahmatmana samstitau vairagyavad bodham karanam aha vairagyeti. So one who is vairagyavan is one who so this bodha, which is vairagyavat, bodha endowed with vairagya, is the reason for brahmatmana samstiti, for this samstiti, staying as Brahma. That is said in 375 shloka. वैराग्य बोधौ पुरुषस्य पक्षिवत् पक्षौ विजानीहि विचक्षणत्वं विमुक्ति सौधाग्रतलाधिरोहणं ताभ्यां विना नान्यतरेण सिद्ध्यति. So what is said here, I'll just tell you. Vairagya bodha, vairagya and bodha, this jnana with vairagya, vairagya with jnana, there is a two-pronged approach, as we have been seeing. Jnana has to be there, it will not come without vairagya, and vairagya has to be there, otherwise jnana will not become sthira. So vairagya and bodha both are purushasya pakshivat, for this sadhaka purushasya or for this muni, they are like wings of a bird. Pakshav vijanihi vichakshanatvam. He says Pakshav vijanihi. Shishya is being told by the Acharya. Acharya says they are like the wings are sadhana for the bird to fly above, fly higher and higher. Similarly, vairagya and bodha are the wings of the sadhaka to fly higher and higher. What is that higher and higher flying for a sadhaka? Going deeper and deeper unto oneself, into one's own Atma Tattva. Higher, moksha is higher, that's why it is, the comparison is to the higher and higher rungs of a ladder or higher and higher stories. If you imagine something which leads, the culmination, the highest point is Vimukti. So Vimukti is mentioned. Vimukti Saudagrata Saudagrat Taladirohanam. So going higher and higher on each and every floor, there is higher and higher bliss. So you can compare the Ananda Mimamsa explains higher and higher. So something like that. So Vimukti is the culmination of this flying higher and higher. Tabhyam vina na anyatarena siddhyati. Tabhyam vina means without vairagya and bodha. So vairagya bodhabhyam vina na anyatarena siddhyati. There is no other marga without vairagya and jnana bodha. This is not possible. There is no other marga for this mukti. So vichakshanatvam. So here pakshivata. So he is vichakshanatvam. Okay. So vichakshanatvam. So here tvam vichakshanatvam vijanihi. So he is splitting the word into tvam and vichakshana. So very interesting the split there. So he says bhe vichakshana. Vichakshana is the viveki is the jnani. Shishya is a jnani now because he has done Shravana Manana and Nididhyasana. He is practicing Samadhi. So he is addressed as Vichakshana. Tvam Vichakshana. So you, Vichakshana, you know this as the truth, as these are your wings. Know these as wings. So he Vichakshana, Tvam Purushasya Muktim Prepsataha Vairagya Bodhau Vairagyamcha Bodhascha Vairagya Bodhau Vairagya Muktam. Vairagya Muktam Bodha. So Vairagya has already been talked about, he says, in that Samasa Dvandva, Vairagya and Bodha. What is Bodha? Bodha is Atma Anatma Viveka Janyaha. The knowledge which is born of the discrimination between Atma and Anatma, and then of course Aikya. Atma Swarupa Yathatmya Anubhavaha. Therefore, landing on this truth of the Atma, which is without a second, that Atma Swarupa Yathatmya Anubhavaha. पक्षिवत पक्षिण इव पक्षिवत षष्ट्यंताद वतिः paksho vijani. So grammatically he explains this construct of vati, that pakshivat, vati pratyaya is used, vati pratyaya is used for this shashtantad vatihi. So it's a tadvita which is used with this word ending in sixth case, and what it says, pakshivat means pakshina iva, pakshivat, like a bird, like the wings of a bird, like wings of a bird. That is the shashti there, of a bird. So like the wings of the bird, the vairagya and bodha are wings for the sadhaka. Know this to be the truth. Paksho vijanihi tatra hetuhu vimukti saudagrat taladhi rohanam praptihi. So vimukti saudagrat taladhi rohanam prapti means that vimukti being the peak, you are flying each floor higher and higher to reach that highest adhirohanam. So the tala here are, these are floors. Saudagrat tala are these floors. Like the bird is flying upwards, similarly you are flying upwards. And what are you flying towards? Towards vimukti. Even for a bird which is blocked, is going to fly through these higher and higher till the building is blocking it, and then the topmost floor is vimukti for it also, because now it can fly away into the sky. So that is the simile here. That's all it is. Tabhyam samuchitabhyam vina anyatarena vairagyena va bodhena va ekena na siddhyati. And anyatarena is said because anyatara is one among the two. So otherwise it is not possible is known for a mumukshu when he became a jijnasu. When he started Shravana itself, it was known. But then this samadhi and this mukti, which is jivan mukti, is not possible unless there is jnana and vairagya both. One won't do. That's why he says anyatarena means without the other. Anyatarena means na anyatarena. Anyatarena is one among the two. One among vairagya and bodha. So if you have only vairagya or only bodha, it won't work. It won't lead to vimukti, jivan mukti. So here he says vairagyena va bodhena va ekena na siddhyati. Through one vairagya or only bodha, it is not possible. Nahi pakshi ekena pakshena ambaratalam gahitum ishte tadvat prakrute api iti bhavaha. In the comparison also, the bird cannot fly with a single wing. It needs both. Similarly, the sadhaka needs both wings to fly. Tad upapadayati anyateti. And that Bhagavad Padacharya explains in the next shloka by elaboration. Anyatara atyanta vairagyavata samadhihi samahitasyaiva drida prabodha prabuddha tattvasya hi bandha muktihi muktatmano nitya sukhanubhutihi. Atyanta vairagyavataha samadhihi samahitasyaiva drida prabodha. So he is giving stages now, because he is explaining detail. He is explaining in detail what was said earlier. Atyanta vairagyavataha samadhihi. Samadhi is possible only for one who has intense vairagya towards everything external and internal. Otherwise, nididhyasana stage, one remains there in analysis, and then he knows there is aikya, but then there is no absorption in that tattva. Therefore, samadhi is possible only for a person who has vairagya. Now, one who has vairagya and has no jnana, he may have samadhi, but that will not lead to moksha. Why? Because it is like the yogi samadhi, which can be on anything and everything. It is not on the tattva, atma tattva, aikya tattva. Samahitasya drida prabodha. But once jnana is there and samadhi is there through vairagya, for this person who has samadhi, drida prabodha will be there. The understanding which was there earlier, that becomes very dridha, because now that samadhi has given him Swarupananda, which he has experienced now. he has had the glimpse of the manifestation of Ananda without anything. This was there in deep sleep also, Sushupti. But Sushupti Ananda has to be gathered back. This Ananda, during this Ananda, he had no ignorance. Earlier he had ignorance in Sushupti. Here there is no avidya, and then the Ananda is manifest in Samadhi, is very clear as his own Ananda. He does not have to gather the Ananda back, because that Ananda is clearly manifest, because avidya is not there. Therefore, Dhrudha Prabodha, the Bodha becomes Prakarsha and it becomes Dhrudha. Prabuddha Tattvasya Bandha Mukti. And Bandha Mukti is possible only for one who is Prabuddha Tattva, for whom the Tattva is as clear as daylight. There is no avarna, there is no analysis by logic. It is not logical anymore for him. It is beyond logic, because it is him. It is his own Swarupa. And Muktatmanaha Nitya. So Bandha Mukti is, this person after Bandha Mukti is Muktatma. Therefore Muktatma is the word used for him. Muktatmanaha Nitya Sukhanubhutihi. Then this Sukha which was there in glimpses becomes Nitya. That is Jivan Muktihi. Nitya Sukhanubhutihi is possible only for a Muktatma who has had this Bandha Mukti by Prabuddha by Dhrudha Prabodha, which is possible only on Samadhi, which Samadhi is possible only on Atyanta Vairagya. Atyanta Vairagyavataha Atyantam Yatha Manaha Punaha Naiva Sajjati. What is Atyanta Vairagya? The intensity of Vairagya is such that the mind punaha naiva sajjate, it never again associates with anything inward or outward. That is Atyanta Vairagya. Culmination of that Vairagya. Anatmasu tatha tivra Vairagyam jugupsasya asti iti Atyanta Vairagyavan. So one who has tivra Vairagya is Atyanta Vairagyavan. Tasya Atyanta Vairagyavataha is the Shashti there, 6th case. In first case it will be Atyanta Vairagyavan, meaning one who has Tivra Vairagya, Atyanta Vairagya. What is that Tivra Vairagya? Jugupsa. He has a distaste for anything other than Atma. Tasya Samadhi Brahmanishta Sambhavati. What is Samadhi? Not Samadhi of a yogi on anything and everything. Brahmanishta. Commitment unto Brahma, absorption in Brahma, that alone is Samadhi. Nothing else. Brahma Rupa Samadhi. Brahmatma Rupa Samadhi. Nothing else mystical being searched for by this person, because he alone is the Tattva there. Samahitasya Brahmani Samstapitaha Manaskasya. There is a typo here. There should be no space. Samahitasya eva Brahmani Samstapita Manaskasya eva. This person Samahita is one who is having his mind in Brahma. So Brahmani Samstapita Manaha. Mind is completely absorbed in Brahma. For that person alone, Dhrudha Prabodha is possible. What is Dhrudha Prabodha? Pratyantara Amishrita Brahma Pratyaya. There is Brahma Pratyaya. Dhrudha Prabodha, meaning once he comes out of Samadhi also, there is only Brahma Pratyaya. Anything he says is only Brahma. Yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samadhayaha. Wherever the mind goes, there is Samadhi, because there is Brahma all around, because there is no around, there is only Brahma, Brahmatma. Thereby, no other Pratyaya is there, only Brahma Pratyaya is there. Even when he sees Ghatapatadi, he has only Brahma Pratyaya there. He sees the substratum which is himself. Prabuddham Tattvam Yena Sa Prabuddha Tattva, that is a Bahuri, Trityarthe, Samasa, Tasya Bandha Muktihi Anatmani Atma Buddhyanutpattihi. So one who has, by whom the Atma Tattva has been understood clearly, he is Prabuddha Tattva, and Tasya Prabuddha Tattvasya Bandha Muktihi, the release from bondage is possible. Anatmani Atma Buddhyanutpattihi. What is this Bandha Muktihi? he never has atma buddhi in any of the koshas. That is anatma buddhi anutpattihi in atma buddhi anutpattihi in anatma. Muktatmano nitya sukhanubhutihi. Muktah atma yasya sa muktatma, one who has a free atma, meaning there is atma is free, means what it is not having any tadatmya sambandha with anything. Atasmin tadbuddhi rahita antakaranasya. So one who antakaranasya, okay, there is some typo there. What it means is atasmin tadbuddhi rahita antakarana. This person has an antakarana which never has association, which never associates with anything, which does not ever drag this person atma into anatma and tie him up. This is the idea of muktatma. Nityam yat sukham tasya nityam yat sukham atma swarupam tadanubhutihi avarana vikshepa shunya jnanavatvat nirargalatmanu anandanubhava iti bhavah. Unfortunately, there are a lot of typos in the book. It's difficult to read without a break and trying to understand what these are. So nityam yat sukham, tasya nityam yat sukham, the sukha which is nitya sukhanubhuti is what? Nityam yat sukham, that sukha which is there, always there, that sukha is atma swarupa, atma swarupananda, tadanubhutihi, anubhuti of that or anubhava of that is called as nitya sukhanubhutihi. Meaning what? Avarana vikshepa shunya jnanavatvat nirgala atmananda anubhava iti bhavah. This atmananda anubhava never goes away. This is the idea. Why? Avarana vikshepa shunya jnanavatvat. Because there is no avarana and there is no vikshepa. Both are have gone away. Vikshepa, see, vikshepa has gone away. What does it mean? Vikshepa is appearance of this prapancha as real. The appearance of prapancha does not go away, but as real it goes away, meaning the prapancha, there is no appearance of prapancha the way it was earlier. There is only appearance of Brahma. I alone appear in this form. Thereby everywhere Brahma Nischaya is there. There is Nama Rupa Mithya Nischaya, and this Swarupa Nischaya is there when the world is seen. This is the 376 shloka. We'll stop here and we'll continue in with 377 in the next part. 2 days later, after 2 days, we'll stop for the Saraswati Shayana. And we'll continue on Vijayadashmi. Om Sarva Vedant Siddhanta Gocharam Tama Gocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmiham. Any questions? So I'll see you in the next part. Namaste.